Friedrich Heinrich Karl, Fritz Haarmann, October 25, 1879 to April 15, 1925, was a German serial rapist and serial killer, known as the Butcher of Hanover, the Vampire of Hanover and the Wolf Man, who committed the sexual assault, murder, mutilation and dismemberment of at least 24 young men and boys in the city of Hanover between 1918 and 1924. Convictions: murder, 24 counts, criminal penalty death details victims 24 to 27 span of crime September 25, 1918, June 14, 1924 country Germany states, province of Hanover, Prussia date apprehended June 22, 1924. Found guilty of 24 of the 27 murders for which he was tried, Haarmann was sentenced to death by beheading in December 1924. Haarmann became known as the Butcher of Hanover, CTFD German, der Schlachter von Hanover, due to the extensive mutilation and dismemberment committed upon his victims' bodies, and by such titles as the Vampire of Hanover, der Vampir von Hanover, and the Wolf Man, Wolfsmensch, because of his preferred murder method of biting into or through his victims' throats. Fritz Haarmann was born in Hanover on October 25, 1879, the sixth and youngest child born to. From an early age, Haarmann's behavior was noticeably effeminate, and he was known to shun boys' activities, instead playing with his sister's dolls and dressing in their clothes. He also developed a passion for both needlework and cookery, and would develop a close relationship with his mother, who spoiled her youngest child. Reportedly, Haarmann's father married his mother when she was 41 years old and 7 years his senior, largely due to her wealth and the substantial dowry their marriage would eventually bring him. His infidelity, he contracted syphilis in his later years. Despite his father being an authoritarian who had little time for his children and a notorious womanizer, Haarmann's parents remained together until his mother's death in April 1901. In 1886, Haarmann began his schooling. He was noted by teachers to be a spoiled and mollycoddled child who was prone to daydreaming. Although his behavior at school was noted to be exemplary, his academic performance was below average and Haarmann had to repeat a school year twice. Haarmann grew into a trim, physically strong youth. With his parents' consent, he finished his schooling in 1894. Upon leaving school, he briefly obtained employment as an apprentice locksmith in Neuf-Brisach, now part of France, before opting at age 15 to enroll in a military academy in the town of Brisach. His military training began on April 4, 1895. Haarmann initially adapted to military life and performed well as a trainee soldier. The following month, Haarmann discharged himself from the military and returned to Hanover, where he briefly worked in a cigar factory his father had established in 1888. At age 16, Haarmann committed his first known SEL offenses, all of which involved young boys whom he would lure to secluded areas, typically cellars, before proceeding to SEL abuse them. He was first arrested for committing offenses of this nature in July 1896. Although briefly transferred to a Hanover hospital for psychiatric evaluation, he would be certified as being incurably deranged and unfit to stand trial by a psychologist named Gert Schmalfuss. Schmalfuss ordered Haarmann to be confined at the mental institution indefinitely. He was returned to the institution on May 28, 1897. 7 months later, in January 1898, Haarmann escaped the mental institution and, with apparent assistance from his mother, he fled to Zurich in Switzerland. Haarmann remained in Zurich for 16 months before he returned to Hanover in April 1899. Early the following year, he seduced and subsequently became engaged to a woman named Erna Lohrd, who soon became pregnant with his child. In October 1900, Haarmann received notification to perform his compulsory military service. On October 12, 1900, Haarmann was deployed to the Alsatian city of Colmar to serve in the No. 10 Rifle Battalion. After collapsing while on exercise with his battalion in October 1901, Haarmann began to suffer dizzy spells and was subsequently hospitalized for over 4 months. He was later deemed unsuitable for military service and work and was discharged on July 28, 1902, discharged from the military under medical terms described as being probable dementia praecox, Haarmann was awarded a monthly pension of 21 gold marks. He returned to live with Erna in Hanover, briefly working again in his father's cigar factory. However, he soon filed a maintenance lawsuit against his father, citing that he was unable to work due to the ailments noted by the military.